Presented by That Time I Got Reincarnated in the Same World as an Anime Podcaster, this is Shonen Jumping the Gun, the show where we set our sights on the first chapter of a manga and decide if it's a misfire or a bullseye.
Let's see how many rounds are in this magazine.
On today's episode, and you thought we said the boys arc was over. This is The Boys. Welcome, everybody. Man, this is the weirdest spinoff of My Hero Academia I've seen yet. I'm Moxidine here with... You know what? I don't want to reference most of the filth that happens in this chapter in relation to my good friend and co-host, Isekai Sensei Sama Brad. Brad, how you doing?
Yeah. I guess we'll get to that. Yeah.
And welcome, everybody. We've been collectively sitting on this bit for over a year now. We're reading The Boys. Yes, the American, well, not really American, the Western comic. It's very British. It's very It's very the guy who wrote it, who's not American. But yes, this is jokingly still the Boys arc, but is the start. I'm going to just say, we're doing a Western comics arc that is entirely predicated on the joke that we had a Boys arc, that we would cover the comic The Boys. Yeah. This is very much the Beast arc. There's nothing more clever than that. But we've been sitting on this bit since last year.
Yeah, and if you thought it was hard to guess what we were going to do in an arc before, hold on to your seats.
We've broken reality.
Literally,
now.
The next one is something that I all but guarantee you've never heard of.
Never heard of.
Maybe B has heard of.
I doubt
the next one.
No,
but
I don't think the powers
pressed.
extend to Western comics.
Some of these are so obscure.
Yes. So maybe you'll know. I don't know. But yes, we're covering The Boys. Yes, we know. You'll hear us as we're covering this. It ran for 72 issues from October 2006 to November 2012. The first 6 issues were published by Wildstorm, but was then canceled and then moved over to Dynamite Publishing for the rest of its run, which I thought was interesting. It was written by Garth Ennis, who is majorly known for series Preacher, Hellblazer, Hitman, and the one I always reference, The Punisher, which I guess, spoiler alert, was originally planned for this arc, and then I decided, we already have Garth Ennis here, I have enough things that I already know, so it has been removed from the arc, so that was the one thing you could have maybe predicted, and now he's not there. It has also been arted mainly by Derek Robertson, at least I think the pages that we read. We read what I believe to be the first 3 issues. This entire arc is going to be us figuring out how much we should be reading in any given series, because the answer is, I don't know. This is more than this is a banana fish situation where we're just going to find out.
Yeah, so I was the one who picked how many issues we were going to do for this. Basically, what I did is I started reading, and when I got to the end of an issue, I went, was that enough? And I got to the end of the 3rd, and I was like, yep, that's enough.
I think you picked right because a certain guy shows up who needs to show up to feel like, even though we've technically met all of quote-unquote the boys, end quote.
This is a bit of a spoiler, but quite honestly, the end of the first issue was enough.
Yeah.
Quote unquote.
Yes, quote unquote. Enough for my taste.
But for not academic purposes.
Yes. We went further for you, listener. You did this. No.
And I do want to get this out ahead of time while people are still listening. I am interested to hear how other people feel about this series. You'll obviously hear us get into this a lot in a little bit after the summary. But I'm really interested because the HBO show is so incredibly popular.
Yes.
And so I'm really interested to hear other people who listen to us, who know us.
Yeah.
Tell us what they think of this series.
I mean, we're also exiting our normal space into such a jump into the insanity with it, so far out of our normal bounds. This is not just and we're starting with a Superman comic. It's no, we've jumped here via wordplay.
Yeah.
And here we are. We said we'd do it. There's so much more to talk about, but let me get through my patented Moxie's Mach Speed. Not manga.
Oh my god.
I almost said it. I was like, wait a minute. I'm awake today. I'm going to have to come up with a different one that makes it say comic book instead. Now's not the time.
Momic book.
Momic book. Motion comic. There's probably a motion comic of the boys. We open on one of our main characters, Billy Butcher, as he sits in a park in D.C., and I'm not talking Detective Comics. It's the government place in America. This joke is not funny. Brad's not making any face at me at all, which means that's how I know it's not funny. I wrote it in this very moment and not ahead of time, which is what the source of the problem was. He sees a group of supers fly by in the sky and declares in not-so-nice terms that he's going to get them, then leaves with his bulldog terror. We then cut to meet our second main character, Wee Huey, who is just being so much a shitty man in the 2000s with his girlfriend, who seems to like his weird blend of conspiracy theories and homophobia. Her name doesn't matter, as seconds later, a superhero named A-Train runs through her at Mach speed, chasing a villain he's fighting, turning her instantly to blood paste, forever traumatizing Huey, who is still holding onto her hands.
He throws the bad guy into her.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought the bad guy got thrown, and then A-Train running in pulverized her. But I think you're right.
Yeah.
It's gross negligence regardless.
I think in the TV show he did run through her.
I feel like that gives more personal responsibility.
Yeah.
I've never seen a look at the TV show before I continue, just for my own understanding's sake. But yeah, what a way to start a comic book. We then cut away. We're going to do a lot of cutting, guys. This is how this comic works and some other comics. We then cut away to the CIA offices as Billy enters to meet the director, Susan Rayner. Then he fucks her for some reason, even though she hates the concept of it's happening. What is going on? Yeah. I'm still confused about that.
I don't know.
Do you understand it either? I know. This. Sorry, I'm breaking all the rules for this episode. This was one where genuinely I'm like, why is this happening?
I'm gonna say this phrase now. I was gonna save it for later, but like, talk about falling off its own edge.
No, because it's like there are times where like shitty things happen just for the sake of shitty ghosts. But this is one where I'm like, we've just met these characters. She doesn't like this. She's in it. Like they're both in positions of power. Like, why is this a thing that's occurring? Yeah. And I never, not that I needed an answer to it.
I think it's just here to be edgy.
I guess. It's whatever. It's very strange. Like there's other parts where it's like, at least it's like, I hate this, but I get why it's happening, even if it's just gross. But this was one where I'm like, why is she doing this? Whatever.
I mean, if I wanted to come up with like a literary reason, it's to show a power imbalance.
Yes.
But it's dumb.
But it's gross. It's such a gross thing. This comic is so mid to late 2000s on top of other... Whatever, we'll get there. They then talk of the government's new directive for watching and possibly stopping supers as they are incredible threats to the safety of literally everyone else. Or maybe it's more accurate to say Billy is always seemingly one step ahead of Susan on each point. He's the expert here. The government is just the funding for it, and they need each other. Billy is going to get the boys, non-gendered, back together. Back with Huey, we see him trying to blaze his way through his sadness when a trio of suited men appear, attempting to get Huey to sign a contract to not pursue legal action in exchange for a lot of money. But he refuses to sign it. I did actually want to shout out this scene. Huey doesn't talk at all, and all the dialogue is in like little snippets of buzzwords, and you can feel the like hollow corporate sleaziness in all what's going on and them trying to convince him. I thought that was really well done, honestly. I'm going to give this thing its flowers in the little tiny moments it deserves them, and that was one where I'm like, that was actually a really good bit of writing.
I do think he did sign it, though.
He doesn't. That's the whole point of why Billy goes to get him to the team for some reason. He very specifically does not take the money and thus does not sign it.
He didn't take the money, but I think he signed whatever.
He decides he's not going to do any legal action, but he doesn't take the... Okay, you're right, yeah. He doesn't take... I'd have to double check that, but I know he doesn't take the money because that's...
I think he signed a document that said he wasn't going to pursue legal action.
He was just done with it.
Yeah.
Now back to Billy as he shakes down another CIA agent, doing some things I didn't mark down in the summary. It's gross and not important. For information about the supers, and in the process learns that both supers are becoming more careless and dangerous, and that a man recently affected by them, Huey, was recently offered money and didn't take it. Billy needs a fifth member on the team, and that man could be it. I'm going to finish this.
Just
because.
I'm
going to ask my questions. We are now on issue 2. There's like more detail. Like this one, I don't know if this is going to be true for all the comics we cover, but like there is so much dialogue and things happening, and I just have to shave down because there's too much to cover. So know that I am paring concept, context, and spin on the ball down a lot.
But also know that honestly, it doesn't make a whole lot of difference.
Yeah. Issue 2. Huey is sobbing in a park when Billy appears wanting to recruit him. Billy has his dog, I'm not repeating that, to cheer up Huey, which works. The two introduce themselves to each other, and Billy explains the situation, why he's here, and invites him to move to New York City, they're currently in Scotland, to work for his team. This Billy and Huey scene is intercut with pages of Billy finding the other members, the Frenchman and the female, and Mother's Milk, who seems like the actual morals and brains of the operation. Also, a bunch of painfully white dude in the mid-2000s racism happens in the Mother Milk segment. Boy, that was a fun blast from the past to read through. Issue 3. Issue 2 is longer, but a lot of it's like, you get 2 pages meeting each of them, but it's just like the characters wherever Billy said they were. Then some act of violence happens that character does on people in a way that's sort of unclear if they have powers or not.
Not Mother's Milk. That was just
not
an
Mother's
acts of
Milk.
racism.
That was just some like very specific 2000 mid to late 2000s racism.
And to be clear, like none of the characters are committing racism.
No.
The comic is racist.
The comic is very like, this is me watching the Method Man and Red show with my dad and Crime Time showing up on WWE programming mid-2000s, white person, black person racism.
Right.
This is very white people, gangster rat. Like, it's very like, God, I'm so happy to have that behind me. Not that current racism is better or worse, but just like, ugh.
It's one of those things where it's like, yes, this probably happened and happens, but this is such a
okay, wait, what? We're talking. There's more summary. We'll get to it in a second. Let's just say this scenario. So Mother's Milk is African American. He has a young daughter. I don't know where his wife is. I think they're separated. They're separated, and his daughter.
I think she left when the mother left when the daughter was very, very young.
Yeah, he's the responsible one.
Right.
She's maybe on drugs. I don't recall. But it's like she's very like, I'm a young black woman living in the ghetto, and I'm showing all my skin, and I'm going to go talk to the homies, and you can see their underwear, and they're clearly like the gangsters from that era. And then like Billy goes up because he's like, you should respect your father more. And they like pull the gangster guys who are very, very stereotypical, like pull a gun on him, and he just like grabs it and crushes it while smiling, and he's like, and they go like running. It's like, you should listen to your father more.
Yeah.
And it's like, wow, yeah, this was kind of icky, even if that happened.
It's one of those things where it's like, yeah, nobody's saying slurs and no one's like saying that out loud that black people are worse or anything like that, but it's like, it's so obvious. It's some white guy's idea. It's that
power
of black
fantasy.
people.
I go in the ghetto and I show up all those gangsters who make me uncomfortable when they drive by with their underwear showing. It's been ages. Like, I know I've seen that in other things. It's just, you don't see that in that flavor, at least as much anymore. Issue 3. We begin somewhere entirely different. A space station, the home of the Seven, the Justice League style group of supers. It's here, new starstruck recruit Annie January. What a name! I actually liked Annie January. I don't even think that's her super name, but I love that name.
No, isn't she like Star something or other?
Maybe. Warning people, this upcoming scene is very upsetting.
This whole trigger warning.
You should just put one at the start of this episode. Sexual assault. Meets Homelander. She's so excited to have gotten through the testing to join the Seven. And then Homelander drops his pants, demanding she give him a blowjob. And when she confusedly asks other entering heroes what's going on, including A-Train from before, they also drop their pants. Can't join the Seven without having sex with all of us. She rushes off in disgust. Later, we find her sobbing and vomiting in the bathroom when she runs into the female member of the Seven, Queen Maeve, who she is again starstruck by having based her whole hero existence on her. Maeve just replies to all this with a fuck off, because it has to be more upsetting and terrible.
I don't want to do this, but I do feel like there's some explanation needed here. So, and this is just my reading. I'm not going to go back and look at this and know 100%, but they specifically say they're not forcing her.
Correct.
But if she doesn't, she can't join.
Yes.
So I'm pretty sure later when she's throwing up, she did do it.
Oh, okay. I think you're right.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting. I didn't think about that.
And that also is the kind of thing that is obviously coercion.
Yes.
And so it is still sexual assault.
It's sexual assault. Because I just read it as like my entire world is crashing down and I'm sick to my stomach that the people that I idolized as heroes are actually monsters who would commit this evil onto me as if it was the most normal thing in the world. And that was really whatever. And then finally, well, this is happening in comic pages. We are intercutting with Billy meeting up with Huey in New York and driving to their organization's HQ and meeting our gang. We met in the last chapter all together now. They start planning what super they are going to stomp out first, and that is The Boys issues 1 through 3.
And they're going to go after like
a teenager
young
one. Yeah.
Teenager superhero group first. So yeah. In case it wasn't clear, we didn't have a good time with this.
Okay. This has been my week trying to figure out how to put this into words. There's stuff in this comic that disappointed me and disgusted me, and I don't know if it was just the mood I was in or that I've been conceptually preparing to read this for ages and knowing it was like an edgy nightmare, that I, in the moment of reading it, didn't feel as, like, viscerally, emotionally disgusted as I was expecting. And I don't know if it was just that I was in a, like, more emotionally tired mood, so those emotions didn't wake up. My brain just saw these moments and went, like... I went... and I rolled my eyes. And maybe it's because, like, I knew it was coming even if I didn't know the particulars.
That's interesting.
Or if... my other thing is that, from what I said before, is like, even if they're kind of crass at moments, I do love the Garth Ennis Punisher comics. And there is a thread of that in here, especially with Billy, who, from my little Wikipedia diving, is specifically based on the Punisher. And that the root concept of what The Boys is, not the spin on the ball and the flavor, is just, man, supers are shitty people with their power, and what if humans could just rise up and their own ability take them out? Because I'm always going to be a sucker in any series. I mean, I think I've said this in manga Shonen land, where it's like the one guy who is just hanging with all the power users who doesn't have a power, I will always be a sucker for.
Except then later in the series, the boys use some kind of drug and get powers.
That I did read that, and that disappointed me a lot.
So I think like I went into this, like I knew the series was edgy and crass and all that. I don't think I was prepared for just how much.
How just needlessly, like so clearly just to poke buttons.
I was prepared for like the violence, but I wasn't prepared for just the way that the world of this series sort of treated everyone. Like very specifically, and this is what I was talking about with like it's just dripping with edge, is like there's one character that has any kind of like emotion, like real emotions, and that's Huey. And everyone else is a caricature of the worst people you've ever met. And it's just like...
But also the moment you meet Huey, he's making weird comments to his girlfriend about the aliens being pink and the I'm not gay. Like, and it's just instantly from moment one I'm going, was this needed? And then, like I said, like it's his girlfriend is like very charmed by this for some reason, which also feels very like, this is very, again, mid 2000s white guy power fantasy.
Right. But, and I think that's part of the problem is it reads as if that's all it is. Because if you want me to care about superheroes abusing their powers, you need to show me why I should care about the people of this world. If everyone in the world is a dick, then why do I care if they get smushed by superheroes?
It's the like, we talk about this and all this other stuff. I don't remember the last time we ran into it, and I need better verbiage for it. But it's like, the world can be cruel, but a story world does not need to be so endlessly cruel to its characters for no reason, like just to be like the fact that off the top of my head of things that I removed from the summary of that, when they go find that other CIA guy, what is he doing? Oh, he's jacking off to paraplegic porn. Why is he doing that? Because it's just an edgy thing to do. When Billy meets Huey in the park in Scotland, what's going on? A woman is out there with her tiny toy dog. The toy dog takes a massive shit. And then Billy has his dog fuck the other dog to cheer Huey up. Why did we need to do that? We didn't. It was just a gross, crass thing to put on the page to just make the world that much more of a cruel place.
And it definitely reads like every 2 to 3 pages, the author goes,
needs to...
Hey, I haven't done anything gross or awful in a page or two. Okay,
we need to do something gross or awful.
Right.
You know, half of Billy's dialogue is swears. And it's like some of these things like that, I think this is why I'm like, I don't know if just like my emotions were low, so like the true vile didn't take root in my body, or that there is just some seed of something I want out of this, because it's like because it's like the one bit of disgustingness that it's like, oh, this works, is the Homelander scene. Which it's like, oh, yes, this is a thing that, I mean, admittedly, we don't super meet, but like this is essentially a thing where it's like, this is the casting couch, little girl.
Right.
And it's like, yes, I want to see that guy get his comeuppance. He's in a position of power. He's doing gross things with his power to people who mean well. And it's just like the stuff that happens to Miss January, where it's just like, she's finally gotten here. She's gone through all these tests. Most people don't make it. And then at the peak of all this, at her hope, at all the work she's done, that she's left behind her friends from the supergroup that she was in where she grew up, she's sexually assaulted. And in this moment of incredible, like, emotional vulnerability and her lowest point, finding her truest, even more than the rest of them, her truest hero, the hero that was a woman that she based so much of herself off, that she's just like literally just says fuck off.
Yep.
It has zero time or emotional space to hear it. Like, and again, it's just like, this is a neat, and again, it's like, I can see storyline writing. It's like, if that was all the cruelty in this and not all the other cruelty or edginess for edginess sake, that could have hit as very emotionally meaningful. But because it is that thing of just like, this is the woman that's in this space and she is emotionally numb to all of it, and that is like meaningful. But it's like, because it's in this backdrop of everybody is just the goddamn worst. And the world is just like, again, it's not even just the people in it. The world itself is so needlessly cruel at all times.
And just off the top of my head, I can think of 2 major things that you could change that would sort of, not necessarily, like, I don't think I would still like it, but it would make me more involved with the world and the people in it. Is in the scene at the very beginning where Butcher goes to that woman's office, let him have sex. It's sex right away in your comic book. Why isn't she into it? Make her into it. Make her attracted to him.
It's like, why is she so upset that this is happening from moment one? Why did you? It's clearly agreed upon,
right?
And that was the thing. It's like, I'm opening on this and I'm like, why are you agreeing to this? Right. There wasn't like a deal. We're just in it, and I feel it just feels, because there's also a thing when it's like, here, I have the comic next to me, because we went into this one we did go into a comic book shop, but we had to order it, and then I had to go back to pick it up.
I can't believe we paid money for this.
Yeah. Because when Billy is looking at the sky and he sees the supers go by, he just goes, "I'm gonna fucking have you, you cunt." And it's like, is he talking about the CIA lady when he says that? So. It's like, is just seeing the supers plants in his head? It's like, well, I got to go talk to her to do, like, and I'm like, I don't know. I don't fucking know.
Yeah. I think he was already on his way there.
Yeah, because that's why he's in D.C.
Right.
I guess I guess he seemingly lives in New York, or at least the boys are based out of New York.
And then the other thing is, I would have cut out, or rather replaced, the scene with the little dog. Like, I can understand a less mature mentality where you're like, haha, that big dog, fuck that little dog.
That stupid bitch's little dog.
I can understand the humor in that, but that was a scene where you could have put something that makes me care about the people of the world instead.
Yeah.
And you could still have it be humor in some way, but like, it just, honestly, it all feels very lazy.
I wouldn't say lazy. I mean, this is the weird thing. I am arguing that some part of myself is invested in this story conceptually, if not emotionally, based on some weird little shard of it. Even though I despise all of its very needlessly cruel world, and it's weird that I'm the defender here. It's very strange that I'm about, and I think it is a. This is how he writes. This is his intention. This is not here through laziness. This is here through intention. We just don't agree with his intention. And that's I don't know. I don't want to call it laziness even if I disagree with it. I feel like that's a, like I said, like there are things, because it's like when we read Jump things where it's just like there is nothing here. You could have put something here, but there was nothing, or you repeated yourself. There was something here. The chef sent us a dish. We just both hated it.
The reason I think this is lazy is because the superhero bad satire was done before this in a much better way.
Where?
Watchmen. Have you ever read Watchmen?
Yes, but it's been a long time.
So I understand Watchmen isn't for everybody, but like I can't help but draw parallels here where you have the view of superheroes who are not pinnacles of justice, not the DC Justice League superheroes kind of thing, where it's like these are all, in their minds, they're normal people with flaws, but they have some kind of superpower.
Yeah.
And Watchmen did so many of these things and had a bunch of edgy stuff in it without being so crass, and also while like giving me a reason to care about the world. In Watchmen, it's constantly interspersed with the kid and the newspaper, like that news, and they're like talking back and forth, and like you come to go like, oh, I care about the people of this world, as these two strangers, I think they're strangers to begin with, are like having conversations about stuff. And then something awful happens at the end and you actually care because you spent time with those people. I
don't know. I continue to agree with you, and because it's like, because you have empathy. You're not a teenage boy in the mid 2000s.
True.
And it's not like I don't know if you ever had that. Like I had a very like anti-edginess thing when I was in my teenage years, when so many other things where there's just so much a lack of empathy about people, and I didn't have all my pieces yet either, but like I was very anti-edge then.
I
don't know if it's just like I've mellowed now in age, but like I still don't like it. I still don't like coming at the world from a point of lack of empathy, because the world is cruel. I don't need help in my fiction to drive a point home if you have no salve for it. And that's always been my position. But we've talked about many times before, it's that some people, and for whatever reason, and I need to stop coming down on it, because it's just that this comes down to the thing. It's just like I'm wired differently, and I want to gain understanding is that some people find suffering to be compelling.
Yeah.
And I'm very, very at a molecular level not about that.
I need a reason for it. Like,
yeah, I need some purpose for it, because there's tragedies we've read where you've been upset by, and like, oh, it's such a beautiful tragedy, and this is not a beautiful tragedy. This is just
to me.
This is just stomping through the mud and the blood, because that's what we're doing.
Right. To me, if it's suffering with nothing around it, then it's like it's a horror film or something like that.
Yeah, I could see that. I mean, like, that's the thing. This is the Punisher thing. This is me wanting to see. This is me picking through a bunch of septic garbage to get these little bits that are making my brain buzz.
Yeah, and I don't think this is worth it.
No, I mean, if I didn't have this comic, I don't think I'd read the rest of it. I'm tempted to, just to like see if I reach a breaking point, because I'm too curious. Or maybe I just put this down and I get it out of my house and I reread the Punisher comics I really like, now that we're not doing that for the arc.
So I do. I think, we obviously have somewhat different mentalities on this,
yes,
even though we're generally in agreement.
Yeah.
I think a lot of my views of this comes from, like, when I was younger, I did have a lot of edginess, but I also didn't lack empathy. You know, it was more like I felt more anger, and, that edge was aimed at the people that I thought of as bad people. And I still have some of that, obviously. I mean, look at the state of the world. How can you not? But I think I was less understanding of the people, I guess, towards the middle at that time. Whereas now I'm sort of like, I have more empathy for those people. So even though I think they're wrong and doing bad things in a lot of ways, I can like see a path to fixing
how we got
them.
Here and how they could.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think that informs a lot of my reading of this. But it's just, I can't get over the edge of this to see its point.
No, again, we haven't had one of these in a while where I'm just like, you are incredibly valid and justified, and I agree with you. There was just something in the time that I read it, even though I rolled my eyes and went, ugh, at so many moments, I just was able to tank so much of it, even though it is just so specifically written to get on my nerves. And I think it was just that it's like, it wasn't I think my third guess of that is just like I said, it's like, it was not a surprise. I had already marked it as, this is edgy. So instead of being disgusted by it, I can go, you're so edgy. You're so like, it's just like, I can access it from this upper, balcony.
I'm just looking down on it.
I'm looking down on it and go, oh, you're so edgy. I have some GIF I have or like a little meme picture I have in one of my art folders of just like, oh, you're so edgy, and like patting their little head about it.
See,
like,
I think for me, like
and the way that a parent looks at a teenager.
Right. I do that when I look at some manga that are really edgy and like aren't quite pulling it off either on purpose or otherwise, and I go, oh, how cute. You're trying to be edgy.
Yeah.
This I look at and I go,
oh, because this is so much worse than anything we've read.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
Yes. And again, I don't know if it's I don't know if this is for other nostalgia, for related things. I don't know if it's just because we are just so inundated with capes now that anti-cape stuff is like kind of satisfying. My biggest question through all of this, when I finished that third issue, and it's a question I'm assuming you have little to no context to, because it has nothing to do with comic books, but it does have to do with Homelander, is that how and why the fuck did Cody Rhodes, noted forever good guy at the time, come out dressed as Homelander and not understand that people thought he was playing 5D chess? Because I always thought, having no information, I only learned from our reading now that the boys are not the supers. I never knew that. I always thought the boys were the gang of supers and that Homelander was one of the boys. I literally had no concept. I just know bits and pieces that I see Homelander all the time. Cody Rhodes, pro wrestler, would come out dressed as Homelander. Oh, okay, sorry, I didn't finish the thought with that. Because I always assumed, oh, you learning he's corrupt would come later. And he just hadn't learned that yet because he's stupid. But it turns out he's just stupid, full stop.
I think what happens here, this is something that happens with a lot of things, notably conservative people using old rock songs, like and like Rage Against the Machine and stuff like that.
Yes,
where they go and they have a very surface level understanding of the thing. So in Cody Rhodes' case, he looked at it and went, oh, he's a superhero. He flies around. He's red, white, and blue. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, he's
patriotism.
Because he's all
cool
the thing. It's Cody Rhodes is the American Nightmare because his
Right.
dad was Dusty Rhodes, the American Dream. But he's not like playing into his like.
But then instead of and this is
He just plays it straight.
the people who lack curiosity and introspection, they don't take it further. They don't go, I'm going to use this for myself in some way, whether that's to form an opinion or to use the designs or something like that. They don't look into it further because they go, I like this thing, therefore it is
But it's
good.
so, like, because like, there is a version of that, which he also came dressed out as, which I liked, is that he comes out dressed as fucking Big Boss from Metal Gear, specifically from Phantom Pain, where he's got his cool Robo Red Arm, and he's got his wife fucking comes out dressed as, I don't remember if she dressed as Quiet or the boss, the female one, and like comes out and he like lights the cigar, and it's like, technically, if I look into it further, if you think about it thematically, it's like Big Boss is a war criminal. He's a fucking mercenary going around. He's got nukes or whatever. And it's like, that's where I could go, well, yeah, but fucking Metal Gear Solid's cool, so it's chill if you dress as this guy. But from moment one that we meet Homelander, he's committing sexual assault on a woman. Like, there is no time spent where he's just a quote-unquote cool guy. That's what boggled my mind.
I don't know how we meet him in the TV show.
That was the only thing that could give me any solve to this situation, because people were calling him out coming out as Homelander from moment one, and that's why it went.
But also, I'm pretty sure very, very early on in the TV show, he kills everyone on a plane. So like, that should have been enough. I feel like that's like episode 1 or 2.
Like, there's so many. It's like, cause fucking again, it's like, I love the Punisher. If a wrestler came out dressed as the Punisher, it'd be cool. Even though it's like he's fucking murdering people all the time. You know, he's an anti-hero or whatever. But it's like, there is
another example. The people on the force, police officers or whoever, adopting the Punisher.
Even though
symbol.
The Punisher is very actively anti-cop.
Yeah.
Like, that is like, that's the surface read where it's like, no, you don't, like, there is a, but I guess that's the thing, is like that aesthetic, reading it as aesthetic goes both ways. I didn't know that this was going to be the main part of this episode now, because I guess it's a big important thing, because we just don't run into it, because people are not, I guess it's like what? The closest thing I have is like the amount of times I've seen sports people from like football and basketball, they love their fucking Atatsuki robes, and I have no idea why, but it makes me laugh every time I see it.
Yeah.
There's just something about those, and it's like, you guys are like, cause that's one of the ones. I mean, I guess that's my point of against this Homelander one. Is it's like from moment one, he is an active toxic shitter. There is no singular moment where he's just like I'm kind of a baddie, you know, because it's like the Atatsuki are all fucking ninja terrorists, and you were dressed as them. But it's like, no, we're here for aesthetic reasons.
But also, you don't see them like actively killing civilians or committing sexual assault or anything.
Or if you're just seeing images pop up or your buddy's reading and you see that, you go, oh, they look cool.
Yeah.
This comic book arc looks cool.
And I guess to that
extent, it's like, why would
Homelander's costume is cool.
Then just come out fucking dressed as Superman or something.
Yeah.
Or any number of other heroic America-based heroes. Come up and dress as fucking All Might.
Yeah.
Like, he's right there. It's the same era, but he's dressing as fucking Homeland. I don't understand it.
Yep.
I gotta find that tweet, because there's one tweet another wrestler does. It's like, I don't know how to break it to you. Wrestlers are fucking stupid. They get dropped on their heads for a living. They're fucking stupid.
You'd think you'd have like, don't they have handlers that would be like, oh, you want to go dress as this? Hold on, let me look this up real quick.
He has friends who know better.
Yeah.
That's why I'm more confused. Like, he's just... Again, that's why everybody thought he was playing 5D chess of like, oh, he's presents himself as the good guy. He comes out of he's the only guy who, you know...
He's going to make a heel turn?
Well, no, because in AEW at the time in the beginning, I'm getting such on a tangent, but this is such an interesting thing. They had a specific tunnel, a left and a right tunnel, that the good guys came out of the right tunnel and the bad guys came out of the left tunnel. But Cody Rhodes was special. The weird thing in the middle would lift up and he'd come out of that. And everybody thought this was leading to some big 5D chess thing. And it turned out, because there's like all these things where he was like way too rah-rah America in a way that felt very like out of place with like everybody else in the company and what was going on, in a way that like the crowd reacted poorly to. But there was never any payoff. And it just seemed like in interviews afterwards, it's like, no, he just was trying to be like a straight up good guy. There was no... Because it's like a good guy, like if you could see like somebody who was being like too far a goody two shoes would turn around to be a hateable villain in in anything, but in wrestling specifically. But there was no 5D chess. There was no mind games. He was just
maybe everybody who knew ahead of time that he was going to dress up that way.
He did it
was
a lot.
Thinking to
he came out
themselves.
This was not a one-off.
Well, but maybe they thought to themselves, oh, he's going to do a
he's
thing.
Doing something.
So
I'm
not going to say anything to him because it's obvious, and so I'll just let this go. And then when it never happened, they were like, wait a minute.
I don't know. I mean, maybe because of what? I'm thinking of more and more in wrestling and otherwise of people dressing up is like they're on my mind recently from recent wrestling events. The New Day came out at WrestleMania dressed as the fucking Saiyans. And not like Goku in them. They're in like the Namek armor with like the tails and everything. And it's like, well, yeah, fucking Vegeta and Nappa like killed the entire planet. But it's like,
right.
And I don't know. I don't know why, like, what is it just, am I stuck on Homelander because it is not just so much of anime in the West can be taken on aesthetic? And that moment one of meeting Homelander, he is just instantly is like, how do you attach to this at all?
Right.
There's no little middle moment where you're like, I don't know what this guy, like, he seems intimidating, but it's like, no, moment one. But also, like, I don't know. He just feels, I think it's just because the moment you meet him, he's not, I think it's because his opening crime is so human level. It's so not needlessly, it is so disgustingly human level.
Yeah.
He doesn't murder a bunch of people in a way that we can't, like, because it's like, Vegeta blows up an entire town. I'm like, I can't fathom that. That is a cartoonish amount of violence and evil to put in the world.
I wonder if they
Or
didn't
Nappa
do
does
that in the TV show.
What?
If they didn't do the sexual assault thing in the
They
TV
had
show.
to have. It feels so important. I don't want to have to watch The Boys, Brad.
I mean, we're not going to.
We're going to look it up on Wikipedia.
No, I don't care.
I'm going to. I need questions answered.
Good for you.
I need this story to be put to bed in my
I am.
brain.
I am.
You're
honestly,
good. No,
like I'm
please.
so done with.
Please sleep. Please sleep. Fuck. Let's get out of this nosedive. The art. The art is the Western comics of this era, but this artist, like,
I hate this style, honestly.
it's very. I mean, it leans into the grody style of
Yeah.
it. I've seen stuff. This is. I don't think we're going to run into it with what I have planned on this arc, but there is definitely Western comics I have read where I just don't fucking know what's happening visually a lot of the time, even though more information. Because it's like, what? As opposed to manga, we have bigger pages. We don't always, but generally have more dialogue, and we have color, which we did not have before. And it is, I guess I'm going to take this moment, if we're done talking boy-specific things, is that, and admittedly, this is not a comic book for children. This is a comic book for later teenagers and up, and thus the story-telling devices of it are more complicated. Because it's like, imagine a chapter 1 in a manga, compared to this issue 1, there was no The Boys until that first issue. There's no prep work it's on, where you would cut around that much, that quickly, to that many things happening.
Right. So
and you know, I just feel like that. I mean, that's very indicative of it. But also, it's like it's aimed at a older audience that could keep track of things better than a Shonen Jump that at a basic level. You know, manga will do that later when it has things to juggle. But like, just to see that out of the gate was interesting to me with my specific Shonen jumping the gun glasses on.
Yeah, I think the thing is, I don't actually think the art is bad. It's certainly
you just
not
don't
my
like
thing.
it, which is justified.
The series that it is portraying makes me not like it more.
It deserves what it has. It's
Right.
not. Yeah, it's not bad construction.
Because I do as much as I hated this front to back, there is one thing that I enjoyed, and I want to be fair. I always try to be fair and objective.
Yeah.
I liked Terror the dog. Like he's big and grody and hilarious,
and he's smiling all the time.
Yes.
He's seemingly having a grand old time at all.
So
moments.
even though the whole like fucking the little dog, like I thought that was dumb and edgy for no reason, but like the dog is fun.
Brad, you've wasted your bullet, Brad.
Why would we high noon this?
You're gonna have to wait though. We're not there yet.
We're on the same page with this.
We're gonna have to wait. We're not there yet, Brad.
Are you gonna go, oh, I feel great about this just so you can do high noon?
No, sometimes we force high noon. We're not there yet though, Brad.
I'm the editor, so I can cut that out.
How dare you? I've been listening to too much Versus Wolves. I'm taking on John's villain qualities, and it's not good for me. Do you have any ending thoughts, or are we ready for Thinky Thinks and Feely Feels? It's ready to get off of this truck. What an opener to Western comics arc. People, I promise this arc will get better and more pleasant. I promise you.
The next episode is more pleasant.
Also,
than this.
but yes, the next episode will definitely be more pleasant for the most part. And other things that I know that I've read that are in this arc are like Bobby Dazzlers. So I'm excited. It's not going to be. I very specifically did not want all this crud and grime.
Yeah.
So, Brad. All right, sorry. Are you collecting? Do you have anyone?
I wanted to reiterate that I want to hear other people's opinions on this, because maybe I'm just uncultured and I'm missing something super important. But like, I found basically no redeeming qualities in here.
Okay, wow, interesting. I mean, I keep coming back to, I don't think this is for you. This is not one of my, I know I have my series and people yell at me that I have them where I'm just like, I guess this remains of like, if The Boys is your favorite comic book ever and you've read a bunch of comics, I'm nervous about you. But if it's one you've read and you've enjoyed, or maybe you read it when you were young or when you were a teenager and it spoke to you at that time and you held it with you, but you haven't revisited, or it still holds, like, that's chill, that's fine.
Yeah.
You know, I'm weirdly curious about keep going forward for pieces that I shouldn't be. But I get it. I'm not judging you. This is not coming from a place of judgment.
Well, let me be clear. If you come on the Discord...
This is coming from a place of curiosity. I have a feeling everybody in our Discord is going to be on a similar page that we are.
Maybe.
I'm going to take a wild swing right now.
But I want to be clear. Like, my interest here is academic.
Yeah.
Okay? If you come on the Discord and you like this series and you want to talk about why you liked it, I'm not going to attack you. I'm literally just interested because I don't see redeeming qualities in it. But again, I try to be objective, and I don't understand this.
Okay. Why does we had this at the start, or we didn't brain collect it, so I wanted to do this now as I'm thinking about, okay, what are things outside of I don't like the vibes of this comic that I could point out being bad, and going, why does Billy recruit Huey?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody else on his team who
is
I guess
capable in some way.
But there was already a group of them, and something caused them to one of them died and they disbanded.
Yeah.
Is the information I have. And now he's getting the band back together, but they need another member because I guess they always had however many, 5 members or something, right?
If I had to guess, it comes down to we need an emotional core and someone who has been so affected by bad superheroes can be our emotional core. We're all going to like this guy, and he had something bad happen to him. Is
Billy picking him to try to coerce the rest of them into doing this? Like to what you said, because I took what you said originally as like a writerly thing and not an in-universe, but I could see Billy playing his 5-dimensional horror chess of going, these other people who seem this way or that way about, what? The Frenchman is excited to see him. The female doesn't talk. And Mother's Milk is justifiably frustrated with him.
Yeah.
Which is, the whole palette of back to front neutrality, this and that way in neutrality. So, but I guess I could still see he's the heart. I could see Billy, because Billy just wants to fuck the supers over because he wants to fuck the supers over. I don't think he has that much higher ideals about what he's doing.
Yeah.
Besides fuck those guys. Which for supers, I think that's my thread of it. It's I can respect that. Maybe this is my dislike of billionaires and the elitism of things. I think that's my little thread through here. That is something that I think that's the seed of. There is just some small voice of, man, fuck elitism. This rules. I'm happy this shitty guy is doing these things. Even though a bunch of other more worse stuff is going to happen that's going to upset me. That I'm going to go, okay, I'm finally tapping out. Brad, what do you think he thinks and feels?
Objectively, I think this is bad. Wow. Because I don't think that it's going to do the thing that it needs to do. Because I feel like, and this is a feeling part of my objective thoughts.
Yes, of course. They're very objective.
I feel like the people who need the satire to go, hey, superheroes bad, power fantasy can be bad, are going to read this and not get that out of it. Because the boys are going to be fighting the superheroes themselves, and they aren't good people either.
Okay. Counterpoint, because these aren't your feely feels, even though they're generated by your feely feels. I'm very devil's advocate today. If you take in a piece of media and enjoy it and don't get the point of it, does that make the piece of media bad, objectively?
Not necessarily, but...
Because you're presenting that as your argument point, is that people could read this and not get, quote-unquote, the point.
The caveat.
And that it's failing of it.
Yeah.
But that... I don't think that's the heart of art.
The caveat...
Again, if this was your feeling, I would have no space for this, but the fact that you're trying to push for your objectivism,
question.
I think your objective reasoning is colored by your emotions.
I think the caveat there is, does the piece of media Like, is it held up as, hey, this is important, and the satire is like really like it's so visceral and like cerebral and like it's doing a really good thing. I feel like from my hearing and seeing things about The Boys for years is that it is held up as this amazing satire of superheroes.
I mean, to quote the dude, that's just your viewpoint, man. Like, it sounds like you are the one that is putting this on a pedestal.
Right.
Could you not? I know. Like, can this not just be some popcorn with some extra little flavoring on it? Like,
I mean, I guess it can.
You are holding it to something that you heard and not what it was born out of.
Yeah, but I think
you're treating it.
I'm pulling that from many different sources.
I think you were pulling it. You were treating it as higher art than it is, and that is your disappointment. Even if you would have never liked this.
I think it's treated as higher art in lots of ways. I think that the author is trying to have it be like cerebral satire.
Do you?
With
Yes,
an
but
edge
you know
to
that.
It. No, I
You're
don't.
assuming what the author is doing.
True. That's
for your objective thoughts.
Yeah.
You're assuming a lot of things for your objective thoughts.
I mean, I do that.
Okay, I'm just making sure. Again, I'm very argumentative with this. I don't know why. I just feel it in my body.
Yeah. So, I mean, and I said this before, if you had changed those two scenes, I think you could keep all the edgy stuff and the violence and all that and get people into the world more and have a better sense of morality for this world, and the satire would mean something then. And I think it's failing at that, which is why I think it's bad.
Okay. You are such a fascinating human being.
Good.
Because okay, wait, nope. I'm going to approach correctly. I'm going to get my right words together. Shitty things happen in the isekais you read all the time, but because you are not treating them as art, you are not upset at them as much. But because you are approaching this as quote-unquote art, it is offending you more.
Yes.
Because you have lifted it up out of the slop and are treating it as something more, and thus are viewing it worse.
Yes.
An action that you yourself did of lifting it up.
Oh, well, yes and no.
I guess the world around you from hearsay has lifted it up.
Yes, and that is
to an extent.
That is the big difference, because when you look at those shitty isekai, no one but the most moronic neckbeards online are going, "Oh, this is so smart and cool and everything." I read those, like you said, as entertainment, and no one around that I would respect in any sort of way is going, "Oh, this is high art and everything." It is popcorn bullshit. Whereas a lot of the discourse about this is about how good of satire it is and lifting it up. So yes, it's definitely on the opinion side that is informing what I am saying is my objective opinion, but it's not in a vacuum.
Yeah, no, true. I mean, that's the thing of like, you can never be truly objective because you'd have to completely nail down in what way are you measuring this. Does it exist in the world with other things? Or are you viewing as it was at the time? Or are you viewing it now? Or are you viewing it where there's no comparison to anything? Like, I don't know.
But let's also be fair. Yeah. I said bad.
You did.
I didn't say even worse.
You did.
And I didn't say spit on.
I mean, we haven't even gotten to your feelings yet.
I think bad. It gives room for. There's something here.
I don't know. I'm very curious. I mean, I guess I'm also confused about my own feelings right now. And again, I don't know how much of these have been now bolstered through contrarianism that is in me today for whatever reason. I guess I'll split the difference. I think, objectively speaking, this is fine to good. I think it tells its story even if I don't like it. I think its art is competent about displaying what's going on. I think it makes its point clear. I think the characters are, at least so far, distinct in what's going on. I think especially the Homelander stuff is very again, is it drowned? Like, again, are there things that I don't like about this that are problems of things that go, why did he do this? Why did you do that? My very much dislike of the cruelty of the world as a whole. But and again, I think if you caught me in another month and my emotions were somewhere else, I could just be railing against this and we'd have a very different conversation. I am hoping the conversation we had is more interesting by virtue of me taking a counterpoint, even if I by and large agree with the points you're making. But I think this is too competently put together to be called bad, even if I disagree with its vibes.
I think that's a fair argument to make. I agree with you that it is.
I don't remember the last time.
So to speak,
have you ever said
together.
something was objectively bad? I'm sure you have on this
probably.
podcast.
Yeah.
But usually I feel like that comes down to we're covering something that's not even food.
Yeah,
or
maybe.
that is so mechanically problematic in its construction. Not in that it did problematic things, but it's just so literally like, this is messy.
I think,
but I can't, even if I disagree with a lot of it, I cannot call this bad. This was a coherent story. I have read more incoherent comic books.
Certainly.
I've read more incoherent manga. I can't objectively, for whatever I feel about this, I cannot objectively call this bad.
I think,
even if I disagree with its morals.
I think probably what I'm doing here, because I don't disagree with any of that assessment. I think if you take each sort of like pillar of what comes together to make a story, make a comic book, I think if you take each of those things individually, the art, the pacing, the layout, the characters, the story, any one of those things individually in this is not bad.
No, I would say all of them are at a bare minimum competent.
But they each have problems that when you bring them all together drags the whole thing down.
I disagree with that. Some of that can drag, but I think we have just read worse mechanical things than this. So
Certainly.
I think it's just I think just the flavor of it and that this feels something more at home, that you have a justified be in your bonnet about it. I guess it's just I am again, whatever you say your emotions, I go, yeah, cool, good, that is your emotions and that's yours to have. The fact that I think I'm just surprised that your objectiveness with it, I don't know. Your opinions on art always fascinate me.
I guess I would
we have
say
different approaches on things.
More so than normal because of what this is doing. My feelings inform a lot of my objective opinion on this.
Yep.
In a way that I can't separate because of how strong it is.
I mean, you're able to notice that, and that's more what's important than anything. But yeah, fine to good. I can't go lower than that. I was like, fine I was kind of went to good, and I'm like, I can't do that because there were some holes I poked into it that I was like, again, outside of my own moral misjudgments. What are your feels?
Oh, spit on its grave. Definitely.
Okay, dang. Okay.
Fuck this shit. I'm so done with this.
This is such a fascinating conversation today.
That's a level I've never used before.
You haven't. You have not. We've read.
I don't know if I can say this is the worst thing I've ever read, but it's in the running.
That is fascinating to me. Because, like, I guess I don't know if Garth Ennis is a rotter or not. Like, truly. Because it's like some of the shit we've read where it's like, I don't know what that author's been up to. And this isn't us like fucking covering Rurouni Kenshin and being like, this man is an uber pedophile.
No, this is completely like Death of the Author. I read this standalone. I had the concept that he wrote Punisher, but that didn't enter my brain while I was reading it. I was literally and I got to the end of issue 1 and I was like, Jesus fucking Christ, I don't want to read any more of this. But I went, we didn't meet any of the superheroes for real.
Yeah.
We have to keep going. And then the second issue was like, oh, we just met the
I'm
actual
telling you,
boys.
if we recorded this episode like a month ago or a month in the future, we would have it in complete. I'd be somewhere else, and we would have a completely different conversation. And I think, I say this again, I'm hoping the fact that I'm weirdly chill and contrarian makes for more interesting discussion.
Let's see how you feel when this comes out in 2 weeks.
We'll see, because I don't think this is. I don't think this is our. I disagree with you, art XYZ, and then we just say to have the same conversation for 30 minutes. I think each of the points we've made are different. I think this turned into bigger conversations about art and your approach to it. Like, I think we found something here that I'm happy with, even if this is a strange conversation to have. How do I feel about this? I feel fine, parentheses, rolling my eyes, parentheses. I'm going to keep digging until inevitably the septic tank goes over my eyes and I drown.
It's just strange to me that you know that's going to happen.
Yeah.
But yet you're still going to like go,
I don't.
Yeah.
Dude, I don't. And again, I don't know if it's just, he's fucking based. I don't know how much of it's just like, Billy's more of the Punisher. I don't know what it is. Because it's Garth Ennis writing it, where it's just like, here's this weirdly off the edge man. He has no powers, but he is going to punch so much far above his weight, even though like he's a disgusting man in a series of disgusting people. But there's just some. That is my only thing I can point at as some shred of humanity myself, is that there's just some little going, I'm feeling nostalgic for this flavor of the Punisher, where it's like, it's not just like, oh, this man is behind all this military stuff. It's like, this man is literally Superman and he's up on a space station. What's my little guy going to do with he's already shown himself to generally be a step ahead of people. It's the fucking Batman versus Superman thing, but grimier. It's this like, I'm always curious about like,
except that he gets fucking cancer tentacles. So
what? Of course you had that in your back pocket to ruin things. Fucker. This is the first time this episode I've actually been pissed with you. How much we've disagreed. Fuck you. That didn't come up on Wikipedia. That did not show. Wait, no, that didn't show up on the Wikipedia page for him.
I don't know.
I know he gets super strength later. There was nothing about cancer tentacles.
Yep.
Fuck you.
You know I see stuff on YouTube.
Fuck. Think about things. Fuck you. I'm not even asking you because it's not important. We already own the first volume. I'm keeping it to finish it, and then it's being removed from my home via selling it somewhere.
I will say, so as much as I would not choose to buy this, I wouldn't burn it. I think the quality of the print alone,
it'd be a waste of paper, bud.
It would be a waste to burn.
I guess, and to my thing, I would not keep reading if I did not have more issues in my hand via the volume.
It's not.
Clear. I would not go out of my way to buy more of them. I would not try to find this digitally. It is the death march of, I have this, it exists in my home, and I have just enough curiosity and interest to keep going. Right. If the bar was any higher than it exists physically in my house, in my hands, I would not.
The art itself does not make me ill, and it isn't impossible to like view. It doesn't hurt your eyes to look at. You know? So like didn't necessarily deserve to be destroyed is my point.
We're exploring such interesting territory in this episode we've never really been in before. And Brad, I teased it earlier, unless you edited out like a total punk, the derogatory version of that. I
edited out that part too.
What? You're just gonna edit all this out? I'm high nooning you, bud. Because I want to force you. You've done this to me before, where you made me say something good about something I hated, or vice versa. And it's only because I think this is fascinating. I need you to say one more nice thing about the boys you haven't said yet.
All right, you're gonna have to go first because I have to think about this.
I didn't have a bullet loaded. I just really wanted to force you to try to shoot me because I knew it would upset you. A thing that I don't like. I think I said a lot of the things I really didn't like.
There's so much to choose from.
There is, but I feel like I said a lot of it. I super forgot about that. Is that Raynor looking over Billy's file and all the just fucked up shit he's accrued over time, and it's like, I'm trusting this man. This feels bad. I've said how crass the world is. I know there was something else, I'm sure. I just feel like I said... I mean, that's what your thing is. Like, we said all the things. Like, I don't know what else to get to. I guess, okay, I don't know. This is a continuation of another thing. And this is one of those bigger moral things. And some of it's just, like, it's born of its time. But it's like, I hate that Mother's Milk has to play the responsible one. Is that the one person of color on the team has to be the one that's like, okay, guys, don't be fucking pieces of shit right now. Like, I don't know. I guess that's the bigger thing we've had in other media, where it's just like, I need enough queer people in media that some of them can be shitty outside of their queerness. because everybody gets to be shitty. If you put somebody who is a minority in your piece, I mean, again, it always comes down to we need enough representation so that some of the representation can just be like, this person is a person of color. Also, they're shitty, but not in a way that feels racial, just in a way that it's like, everybody's shitty. There's trans people that are shitty, in the same way that there's like cis people that are shitty. Like everybody, there's, of all stripes of life, there's a shitty version of a person. And I am usually annoyed when it's like we have this minority in our piece. And again, because this is how representation works. Representation starts as bad, and at some point, you have your era period of going, hey, let's put them in there and treat them well. But true equality is that everybody gets to be an asshole at some point, separate from the things that make them a group.
I'm just gonna fucking shoot myself.
You can't do it.
No,
okay. You can't punk out here. You have to. I don't care how small it is, unless I'm like crossing my arms out.
I like the woman.
Just that she shows up and like
I like the thing where it's like, don't get too close to her. Don't talk to her.
Yeah.
Like, she'll fucking kill you.
Appreciation that the boys is not in fact the boys.
Yeah. Representation.
Yeah. It's Brad, it's Horn High School Host Club all over again. There's a girl in their midst. Who's your favorite boy, Brad?
Let's get the fuck out of here.
You gotta answer the question. It's the boys arc, Brad. We've been waiting for this pun. I'm pretty sure you're the one that... Did you put it in my head, or did I come up with this?
We got shit to do.
A year ago. No, Brad, you gotta play the game. Who's your favorite boy?
The woman.
Oh, yeah, she said that, yeah. It feels like cheating. I'm just gonna say the Frenchman, even though I mean, like, I hate Billy. Like, Billy is both the character I like more and hate more,
yeah.
But I like the Frenchman because also looking at this Wikipedia thing, it's like he might also just not be French, and that's why his accent is so comically.
But isn't this the problem? Is that even Huey, who you're supposed to empathize with,
I hate Huey,
is not a good person.
No, because moment one,
this world has no good people in it.
Huey could have been there if, like, all you have to do is remove that when his opening scene is that he's homophobic. What's the other word I need? Conspiracy theorist.
Yeah.
But also admitted conspiracy theorists in the mid-2000s hadn't turned totally septic yet.
Right.
Admittedly, if I put my brain back in time, we're like just on the verge because we're 5 years out from 9/11 happening.
And also at
but
that time,
we haven't reached like QAnon and just like, we can't play this game anymore. This isn't fun anymore at all. Like, just from the jump.
And also at that time, like, that level of homophobia was like considered not a big deal.
Exactly. But I knew from moment one of like, this is supposed to be a charming moment for him of men of that era. But coming back to it now, I roll my eyes and I go, yep, I know what it's doing. I don't like it.
Yeah.
Brad, let's be done with this.
Yeah.
We've ruined the rest of our day. I've ruined the rest of our day.
We're going to talk about something better next.
We are. Yes. I promise you people the rest of this arc will be undoubtedly better, except the mystery episode.
And I blame this on you. We've been recording for over an hour.
Oh, goodness. Yeah, let's end this. Speed run the ending.
Well, as always, we need to... What do we need to do?
We have to shout out our... We have to talk about our social media things.
As always, we want to hear from people.
Yes.
I did already say that twice. So you should go on our website, animepodcastreincarnation.com, and find our social links page, where you will find links to all of the places where you can talk to us. The Discord's the best place to talk to us, but you can talk to me specifically on the other places, and sometimes I'll tell Moxie that you said something. You can also find a link up there to our Patreon, where our supporters get perks like getting the high-quality stereo version of the episodes early, bonus episodes, which we've had a couple of recently.
Yes.
And also the thing that Moxie is doing.
Hi, if you've been listening to us, you probably know this. We're doing something called the Obligation Arc. So if you're at the merchant tier, which is $3 or above, I believe still we're shooting for fall of this year, 2026, we will cover literally any manga you tell us to cover. I don't know if I'm opening that to include comics now that we're doing this Western Comics arc, because I don't want to open that genie bottle
Probably
too much.
not.
I'm going to say no. Now that I'm thinking about this, we're doing this, I'm going to say no. You have to keep it to manga, but we will... pretty much no strings attached outside of direct porn. We will cover anything you want us to cover the first chapter of.
How about we say this? Where
porn is okay. No.
You are welcome to suggest a Western comic, but we have the right to refuse it.
Yes.
but with the manga, we'll basically do whatever.
Yes, that works. I want to keep this arc is special and contained.
Yeah.
I do not want this to break containment.
So basically, I'm looking for a really good reason to
you got to
cover-
really be bringing it.
Yeah.
But yeah, you just have to do that before we start that arc in a couple of months. Like I said, shooting for fall of 2026. Literally just become that tier, go into the Discord thread, put the thing down. I'll put it in the Excel sheet. And
I think we
off to the
said
races.
that has to be done before like the end of September.
Yes, barring Shonen Jump moving things again.
So.
But your time is running out.
Mm-hmm. Well, the other thing that you get if you're a patron is a shout out.
Yeah.
So, and we've got a new special thing, and I didn't do this on purpose, but it sort of works for the Western comics arc. So I guess we'll just do it and people will hear it.
Okay.
So first and foremost, at our royal tier, we've got our Crown Prince, Slimy Okra.
Yippee-yi-yi, oh, yippee-yi-yi. Ghost riders in the sky.
Also, at our royal tier, we've got our Archduke, Imaginary Numeral.
I hurt myself today to see if I still feel. I focus on the pain, the only thing that's real. Why did you pick Johnny Cash for this? I was curious about that.
I was just thinking, like, what can I actually sing?
Oh, okay. Did you want to claim one of these? I've just been claiming it. I like Johnny Class and cowboy music.
I mean, I figured I should do at least one of them. But
what's the last one, if you want to do this one?
I'll do the last one.
Okay, you can have the last one then.
Next, at our noble tier, we've got our marquee, Sir Cake Dwarf. Love is a burning thing, and it makes a fiery ring. Bound by wild desire, I fell into a ring of fire. I fell into a burning ring of fire. I went down, 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 and the flames went higher. And it burns, 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 the ring of fire, the ring of fire. That's only 2.5 minutes long. I could probably do the whole thing.
Do you know what video game that's on the soundtrack for? That feels fitting to this thing that we've covered today?
Elden Ring?
Nope. Tony Hawk's Underground 2.
Nice. And of course, last and certainly not least, at our commoner tier, we've got Last Man on Earth, Rena, and Laura Carroll. So thank you so much to all of our patrons.
Thank you, Brad, for that. Thank you, our patrons. Thank you, everybody, for listening. Make sure you listen to all the podcasts on our feed. And listeners, because we've had so many of them, what is your favorite, like, superhero capes send-up thing? So no, like, oh, Marvel, DC, but in the vein of, like, The Boys, or to quote another one, Invincible. What is a thing that is a send-up, a pastiche, a deconstruction, reconstruction, a thing commenting on supers? What is your favorite one of those in any medium or venue?
The Boys.
The Boys. On today's episode, and you thought we said the Boys arc was over, this is The Boys.
Okay. Do that in the microphone.
I know. I was prepping it. I thought about it earlier today because there was 2 gags I wanted, and I didn't write. I don't think I wrote. Okay, no, I wrote a different one. I wrote a different one for my intro. I think I'm just gonna do a bunch of these as my intro ones for After Beeps because there's at least 3 different gags. I was really happy with myself with, and then one of them is just going to be my actual introduction one. Because one of them doesn't fit there, even though I really like it, which is, on today's episode... What do you mean it reads light... I can't fucking talk today. Because it's the, like, push away from the microphone talking to the director bit. On today's episode... What do you mean it reads left to right? This is The Boys! This is all we've read is manga, and all reads right to left. So left
Wait,
to right.
you're telling me I read chapter 8 first? No wonder it's so confusing.
Are we recording?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. On today's episode, and you thought we said the Boys arc was over. This is The Boys! How was that?
I mean, it was good. I'm just trying to think if there's anything else.
It mostly be like, I think my reading of the, like, I would either be sad, like, it's a change of energy, I think, would more be anything. Not that the one I took was bad, just to try something, but I don't know what. Let me do a little bit more.
Okay. Yeah, I don't want to, honestly, I don't want to spend that much energy on it.
You're right. One more for funsies, even though I'm just about to do it, but it fits here really well. On today's episode... This is the weirdest spin-off of My Hero Academia I've ever seen. This is The Boys! Which is, I mean, that's just my intro bit.
Yeah.
But the one I was most proud of is the left to right reading thing. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm just...
You've been tip-tapping, so I assumed you've been finishing something off.
I am...
Which is why I've been entertaining myself with the intro.
Pulling up the new Patreon songs.
Oh, fuck. I forgot all about all of those. We'll be okay. You picked more specific things and not me having to sing in Japanese again.
That one didn't save, apparently.
Just tell me when you're ready and I'll get started.
I mean, I can do this later. I'm going to have to because that's not the right one. And then you can decide if you want to do this or if you want me to.
I've only been half paying attention. Do I know this?
What's that?
I'm trying to notice if I know it, and then you stop playing it. Oh, yeah! Shoot. No. Oh, this is Ghost Riders in the Sky. I just need to look up the lyrics. Oh, not yet. Oh, I gotta look for specifically the Johnny Cash version. Am I doing the chorus? Or do I do a verse every day, every episode?
My Hero Academia Vigilantes.
There you go. That works out.
All right. Anything else?
Nope. Let's do.
Yeah. Thank God that's over.
Sorry. I did not know that was going to be what it was going. I was not planning an ambush with that. I promise you. It just happened.
Oh, I know. I knew what it was gonna be like ahead of time. I just didn't know that I would be that disgusted by it.
And I didn't know I'd play that much of a counterpoint. I think we're going to be a lot more on the same page for this one.